欢迎收看神秘文怪事，大家好，我是团长。没有订阅的朋友，请按下订阅按钮，谢谢大家。加入我们优秀神秘文怪事团，拜托大家用力按下订阅，拜托大家。大家可留言告诉我。各位优秀神秘文怪事团团员，大家好，感谢团员新进团员耐心等待，再次感谢所有团员支持本频道。影片中英语翻译中文不容易。本频道制作不容易，拜托大家帮忙加入。我上一集影片讲到，警告：2026太阳喷发海啸直冲地球，世界将永远陷入黑暗。没有看过新朋友，我建议先看上一集。我把上一集影片放在说明栏。今天让我带你们进入今天的故事吧。万圣节对西方人来说可是一个大节日。这天晚上，妖魔鬼怪纷纷出炉，许多家长会帮小孩子穿上具有创意的扮装服，并且要他们挨家挨户喊着不给糖就捣蛋，反而让气氛变得没有这么恐怖。不过这样一个跟鬼怪有关的节日，又怎么会少掉诡异传说呢？像是在美国的温哥华，就有一间非常知名的闹鬼饭店。据说1940年代的时候有个名媛，她非常喜欢到这间饭店跳舞，但之后她死于意外，而她的灵魂就在这间饭店的14楼徘徊不去，直到最近的几年，饭店的监视器都会在14楼拍到奇怪的人影走动，并且还有录到诡异的脚步声。每年到了万圣节的时候，总是有许多胆子大的游客会指明要入住这间饭店的14楼，为的就是要一窥这个红衣女子的真面目。而发生在万圣节的怪事也不止这一桩，据说有个只会在万圣节当天出没的幽灵杀手，这又是怎么一回事？一起来听听那些发生在万圣节的诡异故事。每年的10月31号，夜幕低垂，各路妖魔鬼怪纷纷出笼。没错，这一天就是万圣节，家长们会发挥创意，帮小朋友穿上扮装服，挨家挨户要糖果。今年最流行的恐怕就是扮成他。
게임에 참가를 원하지 않는 분은 지금 말씀해 주시길 바랍니다.
气氛热闹非凡，虽然路上满是鬼怪，却丝毫不会让人觉得害怕。不过你知道吗？其实万圣节最早是被西方认为鬼怪最接近人间的时间。
2000多年前，欧洲的天主教会将11月1日定为天下圣徒日，而居住在爱尔兰、苏格兰等地的凯尔特人认为，天下圣徒日的前一天，也就是10月31号，是亡魂回到人间寻找生灵，借此再生的日子。因此，万圣节当天，人们不只会在家门口放上美酒和食物来抚慰亡灵，甚至还会把自己打扮成妖魔鬼怪来混淆鬼魂，使他们无法找寻到活人。
而这样一个充满鬼怪的节日，那自然不会少掉诡异传说。位于温哥华地区的 Hotel Vancouver 建于20世纪早期，拥有悠久历史，特色就是建筑物有高耸的铜皮屋顶和华丽的精装窗户。
The Chateauesque-styled building is considered one of Canada's grand railway hotels. The hotel stands 113 meters tall and contains 17 floors. Although floor 14 is the last floor to inherit rooms for its guests, floors 15 to 17 are part of the attic and rooftop areas.
但在这间饭店里有个流传已久的红衣女子传说。据说1940年代，社交圈有位名媛珍珠珍妮，非常爱穿着红衣来 Hotel Vancouver 跳舞，却在1944年死于一场车祸意外。
The lady in red, an elegantly dressed ghost, has been spotted in the past on the 14th floor as well.
或许是对人世间还有所留恋，之后旅馆陆续有客人看到穿着红衣的珍妮鬼魂。
There is a report of a Japanese family who had checked into a room on the 14th floor, only to find a woman sitting on their bed. After asking the hotel staff about a possible double booking, it became clear that the lady in red was the reason for this confusion.
据说曾经有日本旅客入住饭店的14楼，打开房间发现里面站了一个红衣女子，以为是柜台弄错了，就下楼询问，但得到的回复是并没有其他客人进去。另外，饭店的监视器也常常拍到模糊的黑影，还有奇怪的脚步声。2017年更有位电梯维修员拍下一张饭店窗户边有红色身影的照片。 现在每年万圣节都会有不少胆子大的人预约 Hotel Vancouver， 希望能在这个鬼怪最接近人间的时候，看看能不能遇见红衣女子。
Hello guys and happy Halloween. Tonight I want to start off my new series, which I call The Scariest Places. I will venture to supposedly haunted locations and see if I capture mysterious events and unexplainable happenings myself.
另外讲到万圣节传说，其中最出名的那非兔子杀人狂莫属了。
Is there a guy dressed up as a bunny and attacking people with an axe underneath the bridge?
请把时间倒回1904年的美国维吉尼亚州。这里的一间精神疾病监狱，正准备进行转移囚犯的工作，却没想到事情发生了。
15 transports were sent out of the asylum to relocate the inmates, but one of them didn't make it.
囚车在半路翻覆，有些受伤不重的犯人逃进森林里面躲了起来。第二天一大早，大批警力出动要把人找回来。经过一番努力，几乎所有囚犯都被逮捕。但其中一名叫做道格拉斯的犯人却下落不明。
10 prisoners, however, ended up escaping. A search party was sent out to look for them, and they found all of them except for one named Douglas J. Griffin, who was institutionalized for killing his family and children on Easter Sunday.
从那天开始，住在附近的居民总觉得很奇怪。原本这片静谧的森林就显得有些阴森，但现在气氛变得更加诡谲。
During this time, locals of the area found hundreds of skinned, half-eaten rabbits hanging from trees.
传说逃犯道格拉斯是在复活节杀了全家人才会被逮捕，而最后，警方在一座科尔切斯特桥上发现了他的踪影。
Eventually, the police found Griffin and pursued him in a chase that led to an overpass. Griffin escaped, but was then hit by a train. The police say that after the train passed, they heard laughter.
带回逃犯本来应该是皆大欢喜，大家都以为事情告一个段落，没有想到可怕的才正要开始。
Douglas Griffin was never found, and from that day on, he was known as the Bunny Man.
道古拉斯死后，住在桥附近的居民总是会在森林里面发现树枝上挂住被残杀的兔子遗体。更有人深夜经过桥下，瞥到一个穿着兔子状的身影快速跑过。
On October 22nd, 1970, the Washington Post ran a piece titled Man in Bunny Suit Sought in Fairfax.
直到某年的万圣节，一群年轻人跑到桥下狂欢，悲剧发生了，2男1女被残忍的杀死，并且挂了起来，就像是过去那些被肢解的兔子。
But it's said that if you go to Bunnyman Bridge on Halloween night, that you'll encounter the Bunnyman and that he will hunt you down and slaughter you with his axe.
后来在1943年和1976年都发生了相同的事件，距离道格拉斯死亡已经几10年过去了，不过兔子人却没有卖声匿迹，直到2018年都有惨剧上演。
Discovery in a Fairfax County neighborhood this morning. A man's body found along the side of a road.
The body was found right near this railroad bridge. It's known as the Bunnyman Bridge. It's a crazy urban legend that draws hordes of teenagers to this part of rural Fairfax County every Halloween.
除此之外，还有另外一种说法，认为这座桥被诅咒了，所以才会衍生出兔子人的存在。
There's also another, more paranormal rendition of the story, where supposedly the bridge itself was built near an old Civil War-era railroad station. So there might also be some sort of Civil War ghost around the area that manifests as the Bunnyman ghost.
附近居民都绘声绘影地说，兔人就是已逝的道格拉斯化作怨灵，每到万圣节就潜伏在桥下杀人。这也导致就算不是万圣节，只要深夜就没有人敢走那座桥。
Right out of Clifton, you can go out along secluded and quiet roads, which can lead you to Bunnyman Bridge.
不过这样的恐怖传说也吸引到了不少的超自然爱好者，特别到科尔切斯特桥，想一睹传说中兔子人的庐山真面目。
Oh my gosh. Do you know what that is? It is the urban myth, the legend, the most famous bridge here in Virginia. Or tunnel. It's the Bunnyman Tunnel. Wow. But supposedly there's a man in a bunny suit. He's called the Bunny Man. He comes out, he stabs and kills whoever is found in this area. So I gotta be careful. And to feed in to that legend, right on the other side of this bridge, a man recently was found stabbed to death on this road just before the bridge.
兔子人的身份直到今天依然是个谜团。当然，许多人相信就是道格拉斯的鬼魂在作怪，但也有些人认为只是有犯罪者躲在桥下，靠着传说的遮盖肆意杀人。真相究竟是什么，我们不得而知，至今仍是个未解之谜。都市传说到底有没有，至今仍有许多解不开的谜团。虽然难以置信，但在科学家让这起世纪悬案多了分想象空间，或许人类就能解开许多难解的谜团，也留给团员无限想象，埋藏着无数科学难以解释的神秘事件。在这里，人类显得渺小又无力，背后的谜团让人想不清也猜不透，是否有未知力量的助力，还有待解答。是真是假，只能说信者恒信了。至今仍是人类想要解开的重大谜团，许多人还是选择宁可信其有，请大家自行判断。希望您会喜欢今天主题，也欢迎在下方留言分享你对这些的看法。大家帮我按赞、订阅、开小铃铛，谢谢。感谢收看，下次再见。